Wrestling returns to Baltimore at the Baltimore Civic Center. Scheduled to compete on the Pro Wrestling Spectacular on this date will be the Samoans, Afa and Sika, defending the tag team title against Tony Garea and Rick Martel. We'll see on November 15 the return of Mr. USA Tony Atlas locking up with the Hangman, and Ken Patera defends the Intercontinental Championship against the #1 contender, indeed more than just that, in Pedro Morales. And Sergeant Slaughter, the ranked #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation title, meeting Bob Backlund for the championship in Baltimore. Our guest now, Arnold Skaaland, to discuss that main event.
Well, Vince, it's going to be a tough match. I know Slaughter's real tough and everything, but as I told you so many times, that conditioning is everything, and Bobby is in really good shape, and he's ready to go, and he's heard some of the things that Slaughter said about us, and he wants to get even with him real bad, so he's going to get him.
We hope to have Mr. Backlund with us next week. You have been keeping him very, very busy, to say the least, on a world tour all over the Orient and everywhere. But in any event, it's going to be interesting to get Bob Backlund's comments on what Sergeant Slaughter has said relative to his wrestling skill.
Well, that's true. I know. I've talked to him, and he's told me what he thinks of him and everything. And that, I'll tell you one thing: that Wizard better not get too close to that ring, because he may swing back and happen to tap him a little bit. I know he's actually put his hands on him too.
I'm sure you've seen the Grand Wizard's attire with he's dripping with medals and what have you. Some sort of gaudy-looking cap with 6 stars on it and things of that nature. Again, apparently alluding to the Marine Corps status of his protege here, Sergeant Slaughter. Your reaction to that?
Well, all those medals and that hat and goofy glasses and all that stuff doesn't make his man a better wrestler.
All right, thank you very much. Arnold Skaaland, his analysis of the main event in Baltimore. Our guest, the Grand Wizard now, along with Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter, the #1.
The people know I'm #1. You don't have to tell them anything. You know I don't like you, boy. I want you to get that haircut. The next time I see you, you better have that haircut, and I want them shoes shined so I can see my face in them. Is that clear? Now, to the main issue. Bob Backlund. Where are you, Bob Backlund? You can't hide forever, because it won't be long. And you know what you're going to face? This is what you're going to see across the ring from you. And it's not very nice. It's nasty, in fact. I get lots of letters, people asking me, are you really the drill instructor from Bears Island that puts cigars out in his recruits' faces? I wouldn't do that, would I? Not me. Am I the drill instructor from Bears Island that put pails on my recruits' heads as they marched? I plead the 5th Amendment. It wasn't me. But Backlund, I'll tell you one thing, it's gonna be the end for you. I, along with the general, will walk around, leave the ring with the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And you better have that haircut the next time I see you. Now talk to the general and keep your mouth shut.
And I sincerely hope your report about Backlund being in the Orient is true. The sergeant and I heard he had a nervous breakdown when he found out he was wrestling the sergeant.
Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter, along with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. Our guest now, ladies and gentlemen, Pedro Morales. And Pedro Morales will be meeting Ken Patera. That is going to be a very explosive type match. Here you have, in my estimation, 2 of the greatest competitors to ever step into the squared circle. Ken Patera and Pedro, your credentials speak for themselves.
Well, Vince, you know, first of all, I'd like to say hello to all the beautiful people here in Baltimore, you know, and I wrestle in Patera. You know that Patera is one of the strongest men around in professional wrestling. But Vince, I'll be training especially for this match because I don't want to let all the beautiful fans here in Baltimore down. And with a little help from you, fan, I think I go beat Patera.
It would be a great moment in professional wrestling history. Many fans would love to see that, Pedro. You as the Intercontinental Champion, I know the championship would mean a lot to you.
Well, Vince, you know, first of all, I hold every title in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, and we love to hold that one. For me, that's going to be a new one for me.
All right, thank you very much. Pedro Morales meets Ken Patera in the Wrestling Extravaganza headed to Baltimore.